The bill, right?
Live. Welcome to Bald and Balding. We have a person on our show tonight who is neither bald nor balding,
Wow.
and she's Canadian. So, yay.
How's it going, eh?
How are you
Hello.
doing?
Yeah. We do say A, that's true. Hello.
How are you tonight, Jackie?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're bald, balding, fat, and old. You know, it's the whole thing going there. It's the trifecta. Yay!
I would pass it around if I could, but got lost.
What's that line from? Oh my God! Oh no, I forgot the name of the movie. It's going to be one of those evenings.
Yeah,
Never
my
mind.
brain's
Just
not
carry
working.
on. I'll bust in when I remember it.
So, Jackie, before El Montague gets on here and starts yelling at us, can you please hold up your books? Because that's the first thing he yells at us is, you haven't had them show their books yet.
Okay,
Yeah, but
I
he's
do
not
have my
here yet.
books.
So
So
you
I
have
have
to do it
two.
again.
Oh, I have two books.
Nice.
This is my chunk, first in a series. It's the only one published so far, but there are going to be 5 of them. This is Daughters of Tith. Whoops. This is a hardcover, so it's also got a nice
Nice.
white tree
Pretty.
underneath. And Tith is actually the tree in the middle on the cover. So if that makes it more interesting. I think it's fun. Don't drop that. And this is my other one. This is a novella. Whoops, shiny. It's called Your Blood and Bones. And this is a standalone kind of fantasy horror novella about a girl turning into a monster.
Nice.
So that's my little baby one. A baby one and a giant one.
Yeah. That's the Daughter of Tith.
Yeah, Daughters of Tith is the gigantic one.
So with that series, have you planned out all 5? I mean, do you know because that's huge.
Yes, I do. Actually, I have full outlines for all of the remaining books. And I've written the second one, but I have to edit a lot more, but it's done. And yeah, the outlines have been in my head for many years. So I don't think anything's going to change. It may still take me a while to write them. I'm not going to make that mistake and say like, oh, it'll be quick, but they're definitely planned. So
it's a lot of words. Yeah. So when you say you have a full outline, what does that entail? I mean, what do you have it there? Do you print it out? Or do you just have a document with 50,000 words on it, or what?
I have many documents for like the whole, universe. For each of these, I write a long point form outline. Usually they're about 20,000 words, the outline,
Wow.
chapter by chapter, scene by scene, everything down to the moment.
Wow.
I don't understand how you do it, but I kind of, there's a part of me that wishes I could. Just it seems like it would make everything so much easier. But
I think, yeah, it's definitely like person to person. Some people find if they write an outline, they're like, I hate this now and I don't want to do anything. So it could be a creativity killer for some people.
Jackie, quick question. Do you use spreadsheets at all when you're outlining?
Nope.
Oh, well.
Who uses spreadsheets?
Mike does.
Oh, wow. What do you do?
I have multiple spreadsheets for my
Each
books.
personality.
So one is to keep, I write each chapter in a separate Word doc, so I know the words, and that way, if file corrupts, it's only one chapter, it's not the whole thing.
Nice.
And then I have, I always put my Bible, which is every character name, and if I give them an eye color, I write it down so I don't change their eye color 3 times in the book. So that's my Bible, and I found Excel works best for that. So I have multiple Excel spreadsheets for each book.
When have you mentioned eye color? That's an adjective. You don't write adjectives.
and Dan M is actually my brother, so he is anti-spreadsheet, so don't listen to him.
Oh, no.
It's not that I'm anti-spreadsheet. It's just that,
For budgeting. I have many big spreadsheets, but for budgets, not for books.
Jackie, I need to ask this. Is this the place that you write in?
No.
It is way too neat and tidy
No, this is my office for where I work because I work from home most days.
Okay.
And then I have my separate creative space, which is definitely not as tidy.
We've had well over 100 different authors on this show, and nobody has tidy like that. I mean, that's
Well, I mean, this isn't the whole room as
no,
well.
I know, but
So-
it's that's made purposely to show on background for a camera.
Exactly, my bookshelf. So that's true. The rest of the room is not as tidy, but it is tidier than my actual writing area.
Good to know there's a messy writer in there somewhere. Excellent.
Yeah, definitely.
Jackie, this is completely self-serving on my part.
Well, no,
I know.
don't
But
start
behind
doing
you on
that.
the middle shelf, there's a book that's mostly black with a little bit of orange all the way on the end.
Oops, sorry.
Uh,
On the end.
Uh,
Oh,
on-
for God's sakes,
What
really?
are we looking at? I don't
Really,
think I
Nolan?
have one of your books if that's what you're looking for.
Yes,
it
that's
looks
what he's
like it
talking
could
about.
be the traveler. I was just wondering.
No, I don't. I was going to get one of them and I don't have it yet.
It's
But
that
no,
one on
it's not
the
yours.
end.
I'm sorry. There are lots of indie books here, though, who probably
It's the
people
middle
you've
shelf
had.
all the way on your left.
Right, and you're right.
Right. Okay,
This
one
one?
of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
That's Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang.
Okay, so it
Yeah,
looks
sorry.
a lot like the spine of Haley Traveler, and yes, I am
Oh,
shameless.
man. If I had yours, I would have put it like face out right in the middle. I would have.
Oh, do you want to come back on
Next time. Yeah, next time.
the show?
Wow. The shameless plug would have been one thing, but you were wrong.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, not you.
I know, but I feel bad. I wish I had it. I could have said it was it, but then I'd have to show it, and then I'd get in trouble.
No, I just got to say, God, you sound like a Canadian. Then I was like, oh wait,
Huh?
I mean,
see, I'm pretty clever today.
My
What are you
Canadian
drinking, Jackie?
sorry.
What are you drinking?
Oh, it's kombucha. I don't have an alcoholic
God,
beverage.
that's
It's
poison.
a fancy
That-
tea.
That stuff tastes like ass. That's
Oh
horrible.
no, I love it. I think it's an acquired taste, though. I could see
Yeah,
that.
like dental surgery. Oh,
I love it. It's delicious, and it's
Okay.
purple like my sweater.
It's
So,
like-
but you can't see it, but it is purple. Oh,
It
and
is,
it's in a Bacardi Big Apple glass, so it's not
See,
alcohol, but
Bacardi would be
I
all right.
tried.
That might make it a little better, but
Yeah, not tonight. I have to work tomorrow, and I have to take care of kids. So,
oh, that's right. Okay, you have like several, right?
oh yeah, I have 3, and they're all pretty small. They're 7 and under. So,
Well, it's getting to be that fun time of year. You can start breaking out the Santa's watching you kind of stuff.
you know what? Like we weren't really doing that. And then recently I just like it popped into my head and I'm like, you know what? I wonder if that works. And it works. It totally works.
Oh God, yeah.
It feels
It's
mean
brilliant.
though. but
It's-
it works.
But think of it this way: just in a few years, you will have 3 teenagers all at
Oh
one
my
time.
God.
So you will pay
Yeah.
for it regardless. So you might as well use what you got.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. It works though. They're just like, oh my God, Santa can see us. We're like, yep. You better watch out.
yes, they have Santa Claus in Canada.
Oh.
Yep, and he is not actually North Pole, Alaska. That's just a cheap knockoff.
Oh, North Pole. You are, in addition to being, you're in a contest right now, right? Or you were?
No, actually, I'm judging a contest right
I
now.
was going to get to that. That was my segue. So you're not in a contest,
No,
but you did one last year.
I did. I did 2 last year.
How did you do?
That was a lot. So I entered DOT in, I call it DOT because that's cute. I entered DOT in SPFBO. I was eliminated in the first round, like so many people. But I got a nice review. It's on the Weather Wax report if anyone wants to look for it. And then for Your Blood and Bones, I actually published this to enter Sphinx. That's the novella competition. Speculative fiction, indie novella championships, I think. And so it's all speculative fiction, fantasy, horror, science fiction, under 40,000 words. And I had this kind of, I was querying it, and then got rejected. So I thought, oh, I'll publish it for Sphinx, and it was a semi-finalist, so it did a little bit better than Dot. But you know, that was fun to do, and now I'm judging Sphinx. So
You're judging. Okay, so how is it looking? You know, being on that side of a competition and getting a stack of books that you have to read and all that.
I think I much prefer judging. It's much less stressful, especially novellas, because I find them really quick to read. So I read my original allotment like very quickly. If people are probably listening and like waiting for my reviews. But I find the reviews harder to do, obviously, than just the reading, which is very easy. But I'm working on it.
Okay, so how many books did you have to review?
I had to read and review 8. Our group gets 20, but I do intend to read more than the 8. I'm like, it's like the carrot for the stick, which is like, get those reviews out and then you can read the rest of the books, you know?
Okay, so this is what I want to ask you. Would you like to help us have this video go further than any video we've ever done?
I don't know. Where's it gonna go?
No, I mean just more views.
No, I know. I mean, but like, why? What are we gonna do?
You're
All
not
you
very
have to do
trustworthy.
is tell us of the 8 books you've read by title and author, which one sucks the most.
No. I would never.
No,
Oh, no. Well, first of all, I thought they were all good. I actually
thought it
enjoyed
was
all of
worth a
them,
shot.
and it's true. And I'm not going to reveal any other information in this video. Sorry.
All right. Okay. Yeah, if I was in one of these contests, I would want my judge to be Canadian.
Yeah, yeah, I
Like, you
guess.
know, at least if they're going to say something awful, they're going to sandwich it between 2 nice things.
I feel like the judges in this competition, like sometimes the reviews are a bit tougher, but I do find like a lot of them are really trying to find the book's audiences. Like, you know, there is usually a bunch in there saying like, this is who it's for. That's what I'm going to try to do with my reviews, is like say, you know, positive things, because every book has an audience.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
So, how many reviews have you posted so far of your 8 books that you've read?
How many reviews?
Yes.
0.
So you were in Spiffbo last year. How long did you wait before they reviewed your book?
I waited a solid amount of time. It was, I think, mid-September, maybe, when I was cut, or late September. It was September. But my reviewer read my book in like June, so I waited a little while. But you know, life gets in the way, right? So like always stuff comes up and it's hard to review. So
It is.
I understand.
There's no way to let people know. I mean, are you given like a series of dates that you are going to be releasing your finalist?
Yeah. So
the
thing with Sphinx is the first round, which is what we're doing right now. There's 100 novellas. The first round will end, I think it's December 10th. And so our team has been like slowly releasing reviews, but no one has been releasing their scores with their reviews, I don't think. And then we're going to compile all the scores and we choose 5 out of our 20 to go forward to the semi-finalist round. But everything has to be in. I think we're going to be, by the end of November, all of our ratings will be in. And then, that's the announcements on. Yeah, December 10th, I'm pretty sure.
So when you were in Baby Bow last year,
Baby Bow,
which was the second one you entered, was it easier for you now that you'd been a contestant before, or were you still racked with, oh my God, when are they going to tell me?
It was so much easier for me, but I think it was because of like my emotional attachment to the books is very different. My emotional attachment to this book is extremely strong. So for this one, like I probably won't even look at reviews. Like I don't need to know, because hopefully people don't hate it. But if they hate it, I don't really need to know. This one, I don't really care. I love this book. Like I definitely love it, but I don't feel like it's me. Do you know what I mean? Like it is me, but like this one is like me, you know? So if you don't like this, just don't tell me. I don't need to know. But yeah, so for this one, I was kind of like, it's smaller. I don't know, it took less time to write, and yeah,
So,
I don't know, I got used to it, kind of.
I know you don't want to, but I'm going to read some of your Amazon reviews.
Oh no.
Your Daughters of
Good
Tit.
ones only.
You know what? That's the only options I have.
Yeah, there aren't very many. That's why they're all good. Everyone.
But I think Daughters of Tith will end up being one of those books where people will either think it's a masterpiece or DNF 2 chapters in.
I know who
This
that was.
This is a 5-star review, by the way.
That was Tim.
Huh?
I always remember that line because I'm like, it's true. Like,
Yep.
yeah, it's
The
from
ri-
Tim.
The
Timothy
writing
Wolf.
is very dense. We open right into a 15-minute or so first chapter where we're introduced to the Kandar and their death-like collective based on a complex web of trees. It took me a while to get a grasp on who everyone was. I didn't like this other character. I won't spoil that. She reminded me of those people in high school who took running for class president way too seriously. Most of her dialogue at first is pretty much, look at my glowing aura, I will be queen.
Yes. So, I remember this review. I have read the whole review.
That's kind of an awesome review because first of all, it's 5-star, right? So
yeah,
bottom line up front is they liked it enough to finish it. And then they actually took a little bit of time with the review, which is always nice. And it's not, it's not so overwhelmingly positive that it's saccharine and it makes you think that your mother did it. Right?
Yeah, that one was special because it was one of the early ones from like a stranger. Do you know what I mean? Like Tim is my friend now, and I think we became friends probably in part because of that review. Like,
God,
like
I just saw the name.
I was like, oh, you read the book, cool. Like, and then we became friends. So we're friends.
Now I have to ask the important question is, do you have lizards in your book? Are there lizards?
I don't have any lizard people, and I don't think there's any lizards at all in any of my work.
Tim liked the book and it had no lizards in it?
I know.
Wow.
It had lots of trees. He seemed to like that quite a bit. So
if anybody hasn't gotten this so far, that was the review of our very own Tim Wolf. And I did not notice, I swear to God, until you said that. I just went back on the tab and looked.
It's
I didn't even notice that. But, oh, that's kind of funny. So it was a writer who nice job, Tim. Well done.
Yeah, I've read 2 of his books and I haven't reviewed them, so but I love them. I just didn't review them.
Actually, last 2 days ago? So, review should be coming in my natural lifetime, hopefully.
Nice.
Is your husband's name Michael by any chance?
My husband's name is Ragnar.
Is what now?
Ragnar, like a Viking.
Yeah,
well, I mean, he is a Viking, so yeah.
Okay. But really, it's like given name is Ragnar?
Yeah, he's from Iceland, so it's like super common there.
I mean, come on, that's.
I know it's real. I know. I mean, when I met him, I was like, "Oh my God, Ragnar, really?" So yeah, beautiful name.
The ultimate pickup line right there.
I know.
Ragnar.
I know it only works on foreigners, right? Because in Iceland it's common. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like the name too.
Definitely not Michael then.
No, not Michael. Uh-oh. Oh, that's my brother. You're looking at my reviews. That's my brother.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Yeah. No. Oh my God. If my husband had reviewed my book like that, it would be embarrassing. My brother did that without prompting. He's very, very nice to me.
Yeah, siblings are like that.
So, Jackie?
Some siblings.
At some point in time, your husband is going to be a coach of like a youth soccer team?
Hopefully, yeah.
Because, I mean, they'll be shape up or Coach Ragnar will get on you.
I know. I know. Everyone loves his name. Yeah. I don't think the kids would understand how cool his name is, but all the parents would be like, oh my goodness.
So at Halloween, he dresses up as?
Well, we didn't dress up this year. The kids dressed up, but we didn't. He was a samurai one year.
He would have had the whole kit with the helmet with the horns. And
I have been a Viking multiple times for Halloween. Probably before I met him. I don't think I've been a Viking since. But I mean, so yes, match made in heaven.
How about that?
So I wanted to mention to you that, you call Daughters of Tith Dot. I also, my first book, I use the initials, which are BAD, so not nearly as much fun.
Bad. That's a good one. Yeah, I call this one Yabab. Yabab.
Nice.
I call them all by their little acronym names.
When you
So,
get like 5 or 10, you probably won't so much. But people won't
yeah,
know.
let's see.
You'll lose track.
I don't know. They're like nicknames. They're like cute little pet names. I think I'll remember.
When do you expect your next one to see the light of day?
Well, I was supposed to publish another novella today, but it's a little late. I haven't posted anything about this one publicly yet. Not really. Like I post on Twitter, like I'm working on my novella, but I haven't released any information on it because I didn't want any pressure to get it out, and that's a good thing because it is now later than I wanted it to be.
All right. Well, let's have it. Let's see it. Let's see a cover of it. And you can tell us all about it now.
I haven't, you know what? I have not posted the cover anywhere. But I have a I have a proof copy of it. But it's not like okay, so this is the novella, the new novella, but the cover is actually not done. So I did the cover for this one. I did the cover for Dot as well. This is mine as well. So I painted this in digital. I learned digital art for this, which I'm not very good at. I'm better at real, traditional art. It's not real.
The other art is not fake.
Yes, exactly. No, digital art is absolutely valid. Don't quote me on that.
Just go back and erase that bit later.
Yeah, but but I didn't know how to do digital art. I never tried it before, so I learned it badly for Dot, and then I did the cover. And then so for this one, I thought it's free. Like if I do it, it's not maybe as good as like a real cover artist, but it's free. So this is my new one, and I still need to do some detail work, but you can't see it anyway, so that's fine. Whoops, trying to like put it in the middle. So it's called Savage Daughters of the Secret Isle, and it's a little island. Whoops. And they're on this island, and yeah. So, and then I'm going to change the back so I can actually put text. But it
does this take place in any of your existing worlds, or is this entirely new?
No, this is also a standalone fantasy novella. So I figure like it's good to write these, like little novellas that are standalone, so people can, I don't know, discover me. And also like I really enjoy standalone stories, even though I have this gigantic series planned.
Yeah. Well, it gives people multiple points of entry into your work as opposed to just having one series.
Yeah, and I really love novellas. Like I love the form of this, like the storytelling like shape of them, and then when they're standalone you can really like, I don't know, I really enjoy it. So yeah.
We have someone here named Cinnapalm who is apparently listening to this while driving home. Oh. And I just want to ask them that if they do get pulled over while the police officer is on his way to your car, let us know that you've been pulled over so we can say some rude things that won't necessarily
be helpful.
Get you out of a ticket.
But I will help plead you out of the ticket. I'll be nice.
Might make whatever video is being recorded by the police officer a lot more fun for he or she and their chums.
Oh, gosh. Oh no. Hope you don't get pulled over.
That is the ideal, right? But if you do, you have options now. So.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The level of support you'll get from us.
That's right. You take what you can get.
Right. Oh, that's better.
Yep, there it goes. Go ahead, Mike. I have to go look up something. Sorry.
Okay, so tell us about your main character in Dot.
In Dot. Okay. So because Dot is gigantic, there are 6 point of view characters. But the main character is like the future queen of the Kandar, which was mentioned in that review. They are a non-human people living on an infinite plane of existence that is half water and half desert. Ooh, oh, this is the desert. Can't really see. And there's a tree as well in the desert. What was I talking about? The main character. So the main character is like the future queen by like destiny. And then she has 4 sisters. Those are the daughters of Tith. So Tith, this tree, is her dad. Whoops. The one in the middle is the father of our main character. because in this world, trees are dads.
Okay.
I don't know. It's so difficult to explain because it's so complicated. That's why it's so big. I promise. It's not boring. It's just full of stuff. Good stuff. But anyway, so she made Tim angry. He didn't like her very much at the beginning. Basically, it's like the story of they're lost from their purpose, which is to guard the humans of the 9 Earths. And they've been exiled to this infinite plane of existence, which is called Derkra, for generations. And so the future queen, wants to get them back to their purpose. And the story is kind of like their journey to attempt to do that. I tried.
That's wonderfully succinct for such a stonking great book.
I've been working on it. Badly, obviously, but I'm better than I used to be. I used to be like, I don't know what it's about. Don't ask me.
I'm not.
And then leave.
I'm not being critical in any way, shape, or form.
Thank you.
On your website, if anybody's interested in her website, and you should be, I will put the link down here.
My website, I always forget to update, but there is some stuff on
and that's why I kind of like it. Because not only can you tell that, but you tell people that.
Yeah, right?
I especially love the line where you say, if you want to sign up for my mailing list, which doesn't exist yet, but if you want it sometime in the future, if it does, please sign up here.
Oh my God. I actually love that. I find it so funny. And people have signed up to my non-existent mailing list. And I'm like, wow, thank you.
Never has a pitch made me want to sign up for a non-existent mailing list more than that.
Yeah, you can sign up, and one day there might be a newsletter. There's like 5 people on it.
Remember that newsletter you signed up for years ago? Well, here it is.
Hello. You remember me from 2023. Yeah.
But Tim says you have a mailing list you can join.
Yeah, I don't, but one day, maybe.
No, Tim, apparently she's just told you that.
I don't look at I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to see comments, but I don't see any comments. So I'm just hanging out. Oh, I see. No, I don't have a mailing list.
So what exactly did Tim sign up for then as the question?
No, he's on it. He's on my non-existent list. I have his email for it because he signed up on my website, but I don't have one. So I wasn't lying on the website. It's true. There's
no. I mean, that is as truthful as you will ever find.
Yeah. Completely honest.
Oh my goodness.
So, what is the strangest or most unusual thing that you've had to research for your book?
So I don't. Oh, it's gonna sound bad. I don't really do a lot of research because my interest is to just make everything up. Because I don't really like to research. And that's why this is it's not, it's not set on Earth. They don't eat, they don't drink, they don't have clothes. There's nothing I had to look up, it's not medieval. I don't know anything about that stuff. There's no weapons, I just make everything up.
Wait a minute. You have naked, uneating people without weapons.
Yeah.
For 650 pages?
Well, there's some weapons later in the book, and there's clothes, but I don't really describe them very much because I'm not really into describing clothes or food.
Here.
Mike is a big fan of non-description.
Yeah, there's no swords. There's no swords in this. Just lots and lots and lots of trees.
Should be some axes or saws, maybe?
Nope.
Okay.
Not in the first book, anyway. I don't.
All right. That's what the evil person brings in the second book.
Yeah. Oh my God, we've got axes now. No, yeah.
The axe to the tree place. You said on your website that science fiction is kind of where you see yourself going.
Yes. I have 3 planned science fiction novels standalone. But I wrote one of them, and then Google Docs ate it, and it disappeared, as well as all the notes. So I have to rewrite that. Don't trust Google Docs. It's not as trustworthy as you think it is. Everyone back up your work. Back up your work. But yeah, so I do intend to refinish that one and write the other two eventually, but I've just been so distracted with fantasy lately.
And those are novellas that you lost?
No, that was a novel, standalone novel. An older
How
one.
many words do we
It
want?
was 88,500, and it was only a first draft though, which is good because I mean I don't rewrite, so like I wouldn't have rewritten it, which kind of sucks. But now I have to rewrite it.
I think I would just give up at that point.
I almost did. Like I really, it was really bad. Like I think I lost it in September 2021. I know this is a long time. So my books happen over long periods of time. Like I write them a long time before I publish them. Like I wrote Yabab in 2022, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, that one I lost it in 2021, and I was like, I'm like, oh my god, I don't even want to think. I mean, I don't even really want to think about it, but I'm kind of like getting past it now in 2024. But yeah, it was not good.
I can't imagine.
So,
what kind of bakery, Tim?
Cinepalm wants to know if you have audiobooks first.
I do not have audiobooks. I want to do an audiobook for Yabab because it is small and it will be cheaper. Actually, I wanted to do it myself, but I don't think I have time or energy to do that. So I need to get an Icelandic narrator to do that or something. But I don't know. Sorry?
Do you have one right there in your house?
Yeah, no, I think it needs to be, I feel like it needs to be a woman to narrate it, but I also I don't listen to audiobooks, so I don't really know anything about them. And someone said I should listen to an audiobook before I hire someone to do an audiobook because I don't know what I'm doing.
Have you ever read Bill Bryson?
No.
Walk in the Woods?
No.
Notes from a Strange Land? No? Really? Okay. Travel writer. A lot of his really good stuff came out probably in like 90, 2000, something like that. Anyway, he narrates his own books, but he has a wonderful voice for it. And they're very entertaining books. So I would recommend giving one of those a try.
Yeah,
and then,
I definitely need to try.
Mike's narrator is pretty good. Does good work, yeah.
Yep. So I will tell you the one piece of advice I got before I did an audiobook, and that was from J.R. White, a good friend of our show. And he said that when he would audition for his book, he had like 30 people, voice actors, give him a demo. He goes, and then I got chills because the voice in my head was what I was listening to in this guy's audio. And he goes, I knew that no matter what he wanted, he was going to audio. Found
the right one.
And so he's like, so just, when you hear your main character, you have your.
Yeah.
So
it's like their real voice.
Well, I mean, they'll read like 1,500 words or so, a few pages to give you an idea what they're like, and you'll get anywhere from. And then the queen said, "My dress is pretty," to, I mean, the one guy said, "Please ignore the dog barking in the background." And I'm like, okay, I'm not hiring you if you can't even.
Consider it ignored.
Yeah. So, and then this guy who did mine, he's an actor in Britain. He's been in 36 plays and 6 TV series, and I don't know how I got him. But
sounds very impressive.
He was phenomenal. He's a very lucky get. Yeah, and as Tim said, you go through ACX for the audition.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of research about like how I could do it, but I don't know. I'm thinking about it. And DOT would be too expensive as of right now, but I one day obviously would like to do that.
Yeah, because that book's going to take some time.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be very expensive. I think it would be like one of those, I mean, it's 220,000 words. So it would be like a 20-hour, 25-hour audiobook probably.
Yeah,
so that would be very expensive. But yeah, one day.
Cinepalm at probably not at the light anymore asks if your main character is a female.
Well, I'll just do both because why not? In Your Blood and Bones, the point of view character is a girl, well, like a teenage girl, probably like 18. And that's only one point of view. And then in Dot, 4 of the 6 point of views are female, but the characters are non-human. And there's not as much difference between the genders or sexes in their world. But I mean, technically, yes, 4 of them are female and 2 are male.
And it'd be like Tim, who I believe is recording his audiobook, and then later he will do it professionally once he, blows up and stops talking to people like us.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I mean, if you have the time and the energy and the equipment, it's definitely worth trying, I think.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's a bit of a learning curve for you. So when you do go to hire someone, you have a little bit of background to kind of call on. And
yes, I have to admit, I really like doing everything like that. I mean, it takes so much time and effort to do that. But my books are self-edited, self-proofread, everything. Everything in these books is me, except for this one. I didn't do this cover. I hired an artist and a designer for this cover. But everything else is just it's a one-stop shop, I guess. So I thought, if I could do audiobooks too, that would be even better. But it's so much time.
Yeah. And I'm not sure where you're finding the time to put out a 220,000 word book now.
Yeah, I know.
Because you have a full-time job, right?
I do. I have a full-time job, and I have the 3 kids, and
Which is a second full-time job.
yeah, a pretty busy life. And I mean, that's the thing. Dot's the second book, 3T. That's its little nickname. 3T was supposed to come out in 2024, near the end. I thought it would be coming out around now, but just man, the publishing, the release hangover, when you publish a book, it's just all that effort and time, and then you kind of just melt, and at least I do, and I'm I can't do anything now, and then life, obviously, kids and work, so it's not coming out this year, the second book, but I am committed to getting it out this coming year in 2025. But yeah, I don't have a lot of time. I just kind of try.
What inspired you to start writing? Because you don't have the time, but you find it.
Well, actually, that I just keep holding these books. I'm just gonna keep holding them and waving them around. But it was this. This is what inspired me to write. I was not a writer at all. I've always been a reader. I've been an avid reader for my entire life since I was very young. But I wasn't very interested in writing at all. At all. And then I had this story in my head from childhood. And then as I got older, obviously became more of an adult story. And I thought I have to write it. And so I did. And then since then I've got 12 books planned. I have too many books planned that I'll never be able to write them all now. So
when you say you have them planned, you have 10 or 20,000 words written out for each one of them, so they're kind of good to go in your head?
Most of them don't have. So it's funny because my outlines really do scale with the books. They're very exact to the books. So the outlines for these are 20,000 words for the big ones, but the outline for Yabab was only 3,000 maybe, I think, or 2,500. So I do have a few other outlines that are done, but they're for shorter books. Most of my planned books are going to be 100,000 words standalone fantasy books or science fiction. My 3 science fiction books are all 80 to 100K, at most. And I have the outlines for 2 of those, and then 1 is lost, like I said earlier. I have to rewrite the outline, but but yeah, so I do have them all at least planned to some degree. They're not all as planned, but yeah, I don't know if I'll ever have time to write all of the books I want to write now.
For your science fiction future,
yes,
for someone who does not like to research things, how are you going to approach that story?
So for the science fiction novel, I will have to do more research than I have done for my fantasy novels. But it's going to be, I don't know if you've read Octavia Butler at all. So no, Margaret Atwood's not a good example, but maybe a little bit. So they're going to be not, well, near future on Earth, like I don't want to say post-apocalyptic. One of them is definitely like that kind of society. Like, so there's like low technology. Like it's more of like a philosophical science fiction with like just big questions. Then there won't be as much difficult to research science in them. So I do have to research a bunch of stuff. Like one of them is about our reproductive future, like the artificial womb and things like that. So I've been looking into that, like science, and I have a whole bunch of like nonfiction books that I will read, and I have read some of them for things like that. But they're not going to be like, I don't have to research a bunch of space stuff.
Not going to be shit
or that kind of stuff. Exactly. It's going to be very like world building is really important to me. So it will be, I'm going to include everything I possibly can to make it seem real. But there are ways to contain, the scope, like it's set only in this facility, that kind of thing. Like, so I'm hoping to, not overwhelm myself with research.
So can I just add a fun little fact here? It's about my work because I'm shameless. But I just wrote a chapter last night, and they went. I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but they went to go get this iron nickel ore. It was like 6 feet in diameter, and pluck it and then take it into the ship and bring it back with them. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And so I'm having it. It starts rattling around, and I'm like, if it's all iron and nickel, this thing's going to be pretty heavy. It's probably going to punch through walls. How heavy is it? So I did the math because I was at work and, I got paid for doing this. 77,000 pounds. I'm like, I don't think they're going to, in fact, get that in the ship.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Basketball sized. I don't know. But, yeah, I looked up. I was like, okay, what's the, volume of a sphere if it's, 2 meters in diameter? What's the density of nickel and copper or nickel and I'm like, this is never going to happen. So now
what you need, Mike? You need to create molybdenum. You need to create a new substance that they find out there somewhere that has all the same properties of iron or steel, but weighs a lot less.
Yeah, just invent around it.
Right.
Use your imagination.
About it.
This can be as big or small as I want, so it's just going to be a lot smaller because I don't really want to punch holes in walls in spacecrafts when they're out in space. It limits what I can write next.
That's funny.
Okay, Tim asks, when is Blood and Bones 2 coming out?
Oh my God. Okay, so Timothy has this problem with my writing where I want to write standalones, and he has decided they should all have sequels, but they're not going to have sequels. Sorry?
Too.
What's that, Mike? You're cutting out a bit.
Oh, they should feature lizards.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Timothy wants. But no, there's no sequel. It's a standalone story. There's no more.
Not even a short story?
Nope. And when S.SI, that's the new one, when it comes out, there will not be a sequel. It's a standalone story.
Do you find
I know
that
people are going to want a sequel.
When you're writing these, don't you kind of sometimes get attached to some of these characters, especially in the shorter stories, and want to know more about them?
No.
Ouch.
I know other people do though, and I get that.
Yeah.
But I have no interest in writing any, I don't know, I shouldn't say this, but I don't have any interest in writing any additional stories. So for example, this is going to be 5 books and that's it. I don't want to write any short stories. I don't want to write any novellas to go with it. But if maybe one day it actually made any money, I might be convinced.
Okay.
I might be convinced to write, some novellas attached to the series. But that would have to be that would be my only motivation.
This is dating myself a bit. Did you ever see Rambo?
No. But that's probably not age. I just don't.
Stallone. It was a book before it was a movie.
I know what it is.
I read the book long time ago. In the book, John Rambo dies.
Yeah.
Okay?
And then they were like, never mind.
So when I went to the movie, I'm like, Is the Colonel going to kill him here?
Oh my
Is he going to
God.
kill him here? This movie's wrapping up. He's got to kill him sometime.
That's
And
awesome.
he didn't kill him.
I love that.
So
They were like, money.
it's what Tim said. It's a standalone. Tell that to Hollywood. Ha ha.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So
True.
I have another random question for you. This might just be a Mike thing,
Probably.
but do you enjoy killing off some of your characters?
Oh yes. No, that's not just a Mike thing.
Yeah, so I do kill a lot of characters. But I don't really like feel, I don't know, it's strange. When I'm writing, I don't feel emotions about it. I'm just like, this is the story and that is how it goes. And I don't really think about it. I'm just like, yep, whatever, they're dead, that's fine. And then when I'm reading it later, I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that? You know, but like when I'm writing, I don't enjoy killing them. I just know they have to die. I don't know.
Is one of your parents American?
No.
Oh, okay.
I am fully Canadian.
So
Fully Canadian.
I have found in my books when like you, I'm like, okay, this clearly they would die in this situation, and then when I go back and I rewrite it, I'm like, well, if they're going to die, I have to make them much more likable so that people will actually hate me. And so if there's a character who's really likable in my book, it's really bad news for them.
They're gonna die. Oh no.
And the ones that aren't likable, they'll stick around.
So Mike,
Yes.
I won't say it. Never mind. What is, having written a 220,000 word book, at what point or how many times did you write something and realize that what you had planned for a character to do, they did not do?
Okay, so again, I'm a bit of a weirdo for this. I never change anything. My outline is exactly how the book turned out. The characters did what they were supposed to do based on the outline. And I have never yet, I won't say never in the future, but I haven't yet had to change anything.
Wow.
You're a bit of a unicorn.
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be other people that are like that. But you know what I think it is, though? I've been thinking about it. I spend so much time running like the scenarios in my head, like building the story in my head. And I feel like the characters do things wrong like before I've written the outline. Do you know what I mean? Like by the time it gets to me writing the outline, I'm like, yeah, that's the story. Nothing's going to change. Like it's done. But in my head, like definitely, I mean, especially for like Dot and the series, I think that as a younger person that went like everywhere, you know, like before it became like what it is. But once I've got the outline, yeah, so far I haven't had to change anything.
And you've never thought writing that this would be a lot better if this person, did kick it?
Well, a lot of people die, but
I mean, so you've never even like made, killed someone that you hadn't planned on killing?
No.
Wow.
No, well, so I feel like this also has a lot to do with points of view. When people write point of view characters, there's like two philosophies, I feel. One is, you have a set number of point of view characters, and each of them has an arc that takes the length of the book, or, until they die. And that's all they have. And there's pretty much nothing else. And everything is kind of like woven together to create the story with those point of view characters. But then there's other people who use whomever they feel they need to use to tell the story that they're telling, right? So for them, if you kill somebody, oh no, now somebody else has to take over their like thread of the story. But for me, it's like they're like very strong, like specific character arcs. So, when that character has to die, it's part of their arc. And of course that affects the rest of the story, but it's not like I can't just kill somebody in the middle of the story that I'm not supposed to, you know what I mean? Because it kind of doesn't work.
You've got to engineer too tightly to be able to do
Yeah, it's very like, yeah. So I don't know. I think that's just a different philosophy.
I'm just jealous that your characters don't mutiny in your head.
Right?
No, they really don't.
That's my biggest problem is I'm like, and this happens next. And like, no.
You're like, no. I hear that a lot. Like, I mean, that happens to other authors, but yeah, it's not.
It does. Sadly,
yeah.
It does. Mike,
Yes.
We've never had a tree go through the bald dome before now.
So have you seen us
Oh,
when we
you
do the
want one of the
bald dome?
trees.
No, you got to pick a character.
The trees are characters, but they do just kind of stand there and do nothing.
So have you seen the bald dome on our show?
I think I did. I think I saw Steve do it, Steve Westenra. But anyway, I want to hear. For
Okay,
sure.
so you pick a character from your book, and the rules of your world hold sway. I'm going to roll my dice, and then I'm going to say your character has magically appeared here. They have a fizzy potion. What is your favorite color?
Green.
They have a green fizzy potion. They don't know what it does. And then you get your choice. They can either have an actual God-honest weapon, or they can have some sort of common item. If they choose the common item, they will face a common animal. If they choose a weapon, they will face a fantasy creature. And we used to make it like, gladiatorial fight to the death, but, some people's characters are just not violent.
Oh
So
my gosh.
basically, I will set the scene, and then you tell us, how does your character navigate this?
This is going to be weird. It's going to be weird because if I use one of the Kandar, which is from Daughters of Tiff, they're kind of like overpowered, like very much so. Like there's very little they can't do. Actually, I don't think there is anything they can't do. So it's going to be, but if I use one of the characters from one of my other books.
Yeah, use one of them.
Okay, well then I'll use the girl. Oh, they have no, oh yeah, no one in this book has a name. So, and nothing has a name.
Okay.
Characters without
I'll
names?
do the girl. I'll use the girl from this. That's her name.
How do
She
you-
doesn't have a name.
How do you like? How do
I'm
people know
sorry.
who they're reading?
Well, it's one point of view, which helps. But I only refer to her as the girl, and then there's the boy, and I refer to him as the boy. And then the other characters will be like the man or the woman.
Okay.
You'd have to read it. I don't know. It works apparently.
Yep,
The
yeah,
reviews are pretty good.
If you're consistent like that all the way through, I think it could add
Yeah.
something to it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't name any of the places either. That was
So,
difficult.
Will this be the boy or the girl or
This
the
will be
man?
the girl. Let's do the
Girl,
girl.
okay.
Oh God, what's gonna happen?
Okay, so I had to re-roll because it puts you into a forest, and I was like, no, we can't have a forest.
Okay.
So anyway, you are now in a floating fortress drifting through the clouds.
Okay, we're in the sky. Oh, interesting. Okay.
So you have the girl has a green fizzy potion that she does not know what it does, but it is 100% effective. So if she drinks it, it'll do whatever it's supposed to do. If she throws it at the other thing, it'll do whatever it's supposed to do to that thing. 100%, it will work.
Okay.
And now the choice is, does the girl wish to have a common item and face a common animal, or a weapon and face a fantasy creature?
Oh my goodness. Why is this so hard? Magical item. Magical creature. I don't know. That one.
Okay, so if you chose a common item, they would have got a cooking pot.
A cooking pot?
But
That's
you
not what
didn't.
you have.
Oh,
So
okay.
instead, she has a lance.
A lance. Okay.
So moderately better, I guess. So instead of facing a grizzly bear, she has to face a gigantic golem.
Okay.
Fizzy potion.
What's it made out of, Mike? What's the golem made out of?
Stone. It's a flying fortress, so
Okay.
So she's walking. She turns the corner in this flying fortress that she doesn't know how she got there, wondering where this green fizzy potion came from, and did she drink it, and that's why she's here. Is this even real? She has a lance, which makes no sense to her. She turns the corner, and there's a stone golem walking towards her. What happens next?
How big is the stone golem?
12 feet tall.
How
big is the girl?
Oh my gosh. I don't know, like 5, 6. I never thought about it.
You have a height.
I don't know. I've never thought about it before. It's so funny because my characters are so like non-physical. Like, I mean, there's no weapons in Dot. Like, it's really and I don't want to give away the ending of the story as well.
Okay.
So Ugh. Okay, she's gonna drink the potion.
Oh, I was hoping.
Oh, you got it, right?
So few people drink the potion. I love it when people
Really?
drink
They don't? Why not? I
because
want to know what it does.
Psycho.
It is a potion of love.
Oh,
She now falls deeply in love with the next creature she sees, which oddly enough is the stone golem.
does this stone golem love her back?
You tell us what the
I'm
expression.
ready to find out.
I just mean like, I don't I've never seen the MCU. I mean, okay, so my character is like extremely magical and very powerful, but I don't know if she should go like physical with this.
Is she more
Is there any
powerful?
fire
than
around?
What's that?
Is there any fire around? Do we see any
Yes.
fire?
Yes, there is.
Okay, because if she ingests like her blood, she can control fire. So, is there lots of fire? We can make it bigger.
Yeah,
Or just burn. No, but I love the stone golem. She's not gonna
There's as much
hurt
fire
it
as you
anymore.
want.
It's your story. You get to fill in the blanks here. We just
No.
made it very uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, but if she loves the stone golem, I feel like she's just gonna. I don't know. I mean, she can't harm her love.
Do you want me to roll to see what the stone golem does?
Yes.
Okay, even. He's friendly, odd, he is not. And I rolled a 5. So
No.
he is not friendly.
Not receptive to her overtures.
Oh, so now she's a woman spurned.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if she's angry about it, no. But wait, he's stone, and stone would not burn. Are
If you
stone
get
golems
hot enough,
made
they'll
of
crack.
stone?
Yes.
Oh.
If you get it hot enough, they'll crack.
Okay. Okay, so now she's angry, so she doesn't love him anymore because
Yep.
he's aggressive and scary.
Death, no fury.
So yeah, so I'm gonna say she bites her arm with
Okay.
her like really good like tearing teeth. Oh yeah, because she's like mid transformation into a monster in this book. So she has like really long teeth. So she bites her arm, ingests her own blood.
This is what she does?
Yeah. So they're turning into monsters in this book, and they find out that well, okay, it's so complicated. Wait, should I keep playing the game or should I talk about the book?
You do both. That's fine.
Okay.
Whatever.
So in the beginning of the book, the girl and the boy are running for their lives because the people in the village want to kill them because they're turning into monsters. And it turns out the reason why they want to kill them is because the parts of their body can be used for dark magic. So the blood, the bones, the feathers, all this stuff that's like growing on their bodies can be used for basically black magic. And so in this story, the monsters kind of figure out that they can use their own, blood and bones and whatnot to do this like dark magic. So she knows that. So I would say she takes a chunk out of her arm and ingests her blood, and then she can control fire. And like she's got like really good power over fire. Like in the book, she can control like the fire in the earth to like, make a volcano erupt or something.
Wow.
So she has like
stone.
Sorry?
That would melt stone.
Yeah, so let's like use the fire to melt the stone golem.
I don't know
And
if
she
I
has
wanna
like
put up
a lot of
volcano
control
on
over
a
fire.
flying.
There's no volcano, but like just make the fire bigger and just like burn it.
So the stone golem is now a solid puddle at her feet.
Mike's DM work needs a his DMing needs a little work.
Yes.
And then she cries because she loved him.
When she looks at that lance, and never mind.
Oh, the lance. I didn't even use it. Oh, well. It wouldn't have worked on stone, right? There you
Yeah,
go.
the cooking pot would have been just as useless. So
She throws the lance in her despair.
Oh my god.
And then it falls down and it spears somebody on the mainland.
And even while she's driving, Cynic and reel off bad puns.
Yeah. Oh, lovely.
Are you home yet?
Ugh.
All right. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah. I knew it was
Not had
going to
one
be.
like that before.
I think you should always
Yeah,
make people drink
it-
the potions, Mike.
It would have been weirder if I'd used one of the canned art because they would have just been like, eh, and like left or something, probably, realistically.
Somebody with the power of flight would have just jumped off this thing and just
Yeah, they would have just,
left.
or like teleport. Like they don't teleport, but used a portal and like left. So that's boring.
All right, so we have to wait until sometime next year at a date to be determined
Yeah.
for the next book, which isn't a big chunky book, but it's one of the thin books, and it's a standalone. So if we really like it, it's too bad that's all there is.
Yeah. No, this one I'm still hoping it'll come out. This little one, I'm hoping it will come out at the end of even November or early December because it's like done. I just need to like touch up a few things. I just want to be
cover
like
reveal was done here.
Sorry?
Right.
The cover reveal was done here.
Yeah. Anyway, I will like touch up the last things and then I'll actually reveal the cover properly in like high definition and the like description and everything. But yeah, so that one will come this year. I'm really committed to doing it this year. And then yes, my next chunk will be next year. Hopefully.
All right. And between all that, you get to finish judging the competition.
I know. I was working on my reviews today, so I was working on it.
So I did mean to ask you this. After you pick your 5 books from your 20, would you just like switch books with somebody else and then have to read 5 more?
Well, okay. So yeah. So what happens is I think there's 5 judges on my team and all of us together will choose the 5 that will go to the semifinals. And then each team, there's 5 judging teams, will pick 5. So that's 25. So out of the first 100, there are 25 semifinalists. And then what they do is, I think like the organizers will like kind of randomly assign those 5 books to different groups. So you won't get any of your original 5 semifinalists back, but you'll get a random assortment of the others. And then we will probably our whole team will read all 5 because 5 novellas very quick. And then we'll pick, I think we picked 2 finalists from the 5. So once you get in the semifinal rounds, you have a pretty good like shot of going forward. And then it's the same thing as SPFBO at that point. There will be 10 finalists and every judging team will like review them. I think that round ends in late January. I think the semifinalists and then the finals, I don't know, end of February? Something
over the course of this thing, out of 100 starting novellas, you're probably going to end up reading 30 to 40 of them?
Yeah. Especially if I read the original, if I read all of our 20, then I would read 5 and then I would read, like 8 more. So yeah, basically. Last year I read all the finalists and most of the semifinalists just for fun, like when I was in the competition. Because I love novellas and it takes like an hour or 3 hours to read it. So
would you have picked a different winner last year than the person who actually won?
I am not going to comment on that. I loved all of them though. I really found
I'm not
the
saying you did love all of them. That
Man.
wasn't in doubt. I'm not asking you to hate on anyone.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying, did the winner would that have been your winner?
They were. I remember the top 3 were, I think, the same as my top 3. But
Okay.
I can't remember 100% if they were the exact order. But I did have some differing opinions. Like I really loved some of the ones that were on the bottom of the 10. But all 10 were so good. Like anyone who likes novellas, if you need recommendations, you should read the finalists from last year's Sphinx. And then if you want more, you should read the semifinalists because they were all very good.
It wasn't meant to be a dangerous question, Tim. It was just because I mean, obviously you have groups of judges who are going to come up with a different answer probably than a single judge might.
Yeah,
And
they
if
were all really good though. Like
you were just, a non-judge person.
But genuinely, like they were really quality. Like it was difficult. Like I thought, it'll be easy to pick like the top, but they were all really good, very different from each other.
As a judge, do you look at like interior design, cover art, any of that kind of stuff? Or are you only focused on the words?
I don't think we're supposed to. I wasn't told one way or the other, but I haven't been looking at that. Like the only reason I would take formatting into account if I had to would be if it limited my ability to like read the book. Like if it would, you know what I mean? But I haven't seen anything like that. They've all been pretty well formatted and everything. But I've also only been looking at the ebooks. I have not purchased any of the Sphinx books this year in paperback yet, just because that'll start to get very expensive if I start doing that. Maybe later, but now I'm just looking at the ebooks and they're all pretty solid quality. So,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. One last chance to pitch whatever you'd like to pitch.
We haven't seen your books in a while.
Yeah, let's look at them all again.
The
New one. This one will come out at some point. It's like hopeful feminist fantasy.
In time for Christmas.
Yeah, but hopefully it's definitely not a Christmas story, but that's okay. This one's a little spooky. It was a good spooky season read. That's over now. But if you like anything I said, that's also good. And then my giant one, you should definitely read this. But don't tell me if you don't like it. Because I love it. This is my baby.
Completely Canadian about it.
And Tim Wolf likes it too, and you can find his review on Amazon.
Yes, he's waiting for the sequel.
With lizards.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, there's no lizards.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jackie. Loved having you on. It was great to hear from our hat again. It's always nice.
Yeah, America's hat. I took a moment to get that. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh.
I guess it should be America's
lizard. I don't think that's true. What? Well, there's a dragon for like 5 minutes. Okay, is a dragon a lizard? I don't think so.
In Tim's world, it is.
Okay, then sure. Yes, there's some dragons in my books. But only a little bit.
You have to mention dragons if you write fantasy, if they're in there.
That's right, yeah. People will ask you at shows, are there dragons in this?
There was only a dragon for like 5 minutes, literally.
No. You just say yes.
You just say
yes? Okay. There's no dragons in this one, though. I'm sorry.
Technically, there is a dragon in this book.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people don't like dragons, though.
Jackie, I will tell you at one point at a Comic-Con, I was pitching my book, Becoming a Druid, and the girl goes, "Is there a little bit of romance in there?" And I'm like, yes, there is. And I'm like, but she dies in chapter 22, but I'm not telling you that.
No.
Well, Brahmi does love himself, so.
So when I get a 2-star review, I'll know why, but I made the sale, so
Yeah, or an angry email. You told me there was romance. Tisk. Oh.
All right, well, we're not going to be able to see Cinna home, so, continue on your very, very long drive.
Safe drive.
And, drive safe. Don't get pulled over anymore because we can't help you now.
Cinna's out in Wyoming or Montana, one of those big empty states. I know that, so.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Appreciate it. And, Mike, we are back, Wednesday?
Thursday.
Huh?
Thursday.
Oh, that's right. Today's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Sarah Henney will be with us on Thursday. And then we have, I forget the guy's name. He lives in France, and we're doing that at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
1 o'clock on a Saturday. Okay.
Alex Robbins. That's the name. Look at that. I even remembered in time.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you joining us.
It was fun.